It's called Joe.
From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, high fuel prices continue to linger around, not only impacting drivers, but boaters are also feeling the pinch. Plus, one man started at 17 years old and is now going on 60 years as a bus driver for Greyhound. Hear his story. And the Cole Land Transportation Museum in Bangor honored fallen U.S. military veterans. These stories and more right now. Good morning and welcome into Good Morning Maine. I'm Joe Cortez. Thanks for tuning in to the final hour of our show. The rain will be moving out of here shortly this morning. We look like we have a pretty good day in store for us. Afternoon, if you're looking to get some sunshine, the UV will be up near 7, but Devin Biggs will tell you all about that with the first look at our forecast. Devin, good morning.
Hey, Joe, thank you very much. A couple advisories we have our eye on. A small credit advisory is in effect until 11 a.m. this morning. The winds will begin to calm down after that, so these advisories are expected to get dropped by that point. But later on tonight and a Wednesday morning, a frost advisory up for a few areas due to cooler temperatures that could fall in the 30s across the northern parts of the state, so we do have our eye on that. And we do have a few rain showers that continue to move through this morning, mainly across most of the viewing area, though, although the coverage has backed off over the last several hours, moving from the northwest going toward the south and east. We had a lot of yellow moving through recently. Now just a little bit of green still left. We'll start seeing this taper off throughout the rest of the daytime period with this cold front right about in here that continues to track from the north to the south. This is a warm front right about in here. We'll stay in the cool side of things with temperatures over the next few days. That'll be in the 60s. It was a warm one yesterday. Temperatures making it into the lower 80s. Not too bad with 70s further off toward the north. And so far this morning's lows have been in the 40s and even 50s. So overall a mild start across the region so far. Temperatures not warming up much today, making it into the 60s. Futurecast for the rest of today, though, that cold front will be moving through with a lot of sunshine that will be coming out during the afternoon period once we get this rain to taper off. And with that in mind, your hourly forecast moving forward, the rain will give way to sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe?
Thank you, Devin. First up this morning, a body has been recovered from the Penobscot River in Orrington. According to a release by the Maine Department of Marine Resources, the body was recovered just before 1 p.m. Sunday by Marine Patrol officers and Penobscot County Sheriff's deputies. The body has been tentatively identified by a recovered driver's license as 28-year-old Levi Kelly of Bucksport. Officials say the body was spotted in the water near the Orrington Public Boat Launch by a recreational boater. Kelly had been missing since April 3rd when the body of his wife, 28-year-old Lauren Wattis Kelly of Bucksport, was found on the shore of the Penobscot River about a quarter-mile south the Orrington Boat Launch. Now, the couple's canoe was found on shore in Bucksport the following day. Officials say there was no sign of life jacket use by either victim. The body will be transported to the medical examiner's office in Augusta for confirmation of identity. Maine State Police are searching for the driver of a vehicle following a hit-and-run crash in Danforth on Sunday. Police responded to the crash on Springfield Road at around 2:25 p.m. Officials say the driver of a 2003 Ford Explorer was heading south and crossed the center line, striking two motorcycles. 50-year-old Don Charette of Frenchville and 30-year-old Jesse Ouellette of St. Agatha were both not wearing helmets and taken to a local hospital. Charette later died and Ouellette suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Officials say the Ford Explorer is registered to 35-year-old Ryan Moore of Danforth. Now, the driver fled the scene of the crash and has not been located. If anyone witnessed the crash and has any information on Moore's whereabouts, they're asked to call the Maine State Police at 973-3700. A Poland man drowned in Turner on Sunday. According to Mark Lottie with the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, 36-year-old Adrian Moray attempted to swim to a float about 50 feet from the shore in Martin Stream, but began to struggle and went underwater. Witnesses say they were on the shore and tried to help him out, but were not successful. Divers from the Maine Warden Service and Maine State Police located the victim in 7 feet of water and removed him from the scene. More information will be released when it becomes available. State police are trying to piece together the evidence after a shooting left one person dead and another hurt in central Maine. Investigators rushing to the scene on Main Street, also known as Route 32 in Vassalboro, Monday morning for reports of gunfire inside an apartment building. Brad Rogers spoke to investigators about what they know and what they're still trying to figure out.
Right now, there are a lot of moving parts to this investigation. The shooting happened shortly after 9 o'clock this morning inside that apartment here in Vassalboro. Police say the 911 call came in for a disturbance inside an apartment.
The disturbance was someone was arguing, and then it was followed up by multiple gunshots.
Minutes later, state troopers converged on the apartment building on 513 Main Street in Vassalboro.
Roughly 8 troopers arrived on scene.
Inside, they found 3 people, 1 dead, 1 injured, and 1 unharmed.
There was 1 male deceased, 1 male injured, and another party that was involved that is uninjured.
The wounded man was rushed to the hospital, no word yet on his condition. Police say all 3 knew one another.
Everyone that was involved lived at the apartment building.
Police are still trying to figure out what the argument was about and who shot who. Investigators are taking statements, and the evidence response team is here gathering evidence as police try to piece together exactly what happened here.
It's very early in the investigation, which will continue throughout the evening into the night. So we're not prepared at this point to draw any conclusions, but we're gathering information, and if anyone has any information, we would ask that they please call the state police.
Right now, no one is in custody, and there are no active searches for a suspect. Police aren't releasing any more details at this time, but they do say there is no threat or risk to the public.
High fuel prices are not only impacting those drivers over the holiday weekend, but also people on the water. With boating season officially underway, those out for fun or work are feeling the price pinch. Dan Lampariello has more on the adjustments some are making and when prices could go down.
Boating season is in full swing at Spring Point Marina.
Coming out of the pandemic, and there's a lot of energy around.
But for those filling up after the first big weekend, it's coming with a big price tag.
Fuel's basically doubled. It's from the start of last year, is what we're going to have to pay now.
Matt Gardner runs a charter business and says he's had to pass on the increased costs to customers, something many haven't seemed to mind so far.
Everyone understands. Everything's more expensive. Milk's more expensive. It's affected everything.
And while those who have business on the water are feeling the price spike more than others, it's left everyone trying to curb costs as best they can. But for many boaters, it's just an added expense.
Where's your fuel gauge?
For an already expensive sport.
Definitely we'll think about our trips a little better, where we go. But we're boaters. We're used to it.
While boaters big and small say they're not going to let the price at the pump keep them off the water this summer, they still want to see the prices go down. And that's where leaders in Washington say they're still trying to come up with a plan.
We've got to control the costs in the meantime.
Senator Angus King says investment in renewable energy will help make the market less volatile in the future, but admits those projects will take time.
In the short run, we need more production to bring prices down. In the long run, we need decarbonization to permanently bring prices down.
We want it back down to $2.50, $3. So anything the feds can do, in my opinion, would be great.
And while we wait for a solution, there's no shortage of people willing to spend a little more to get out on the water.
We're not really seeing a big slowdown. People are confident. They're confident in what they want to do.
8 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up next here on Good Morning Maine. Local communities from the area honored our nation's fallen veterans for Memorial Day. We'll check out all the events coming up in just a second. But first, here's another look at your forecast. A high of 67 degrees today. We're expecting some rain on your morning commute, but should dwindle out of here before noon and lunchtime. Temperatures warming up to a high of 67 tonight. Drop down to 40 degrees. Sunset is around 8:13. We are in full summer force here. Tomorrow, a little chance of rain with a high of 69 degrees.
Q106.5 is Maine's #1 for new country. The biggest country stars with their biggest songs and more fun with Scott Miller and Cindy Campbell on the Q106.5 Morning Show. Download the Q106.5 app and listen at work. Q106.5.
Bath Fitter doesn't just fit your bath. We fit your life.
When you're tired of looking at your tired old bath, we fit your style with hundreds of design options. When a normal day is anything but normal, we fit your schedule with our unique tub-over-tub process installed in as little as a day. When high quality is the only quality that matters, we fit your standards with a lifetime guarantee. Bath Fitter, it just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Roots to Remedies in downtown Millinocket wants you to know that they take the health of you and your family seriously. That is why they're offering curbside pickup and free deliveries. They have award-winning edibles handcrafted on-site. They specialize in non-GMO, vegan, and gluten-free products for all your dietary restrictions. New to Roots to Remedies is the selection of vitamins, essential oils, and a full line of herbs to enhance your well-being. Get your CBDs at Roots to Remedies, where it's always 420 and caring comes first.
Q106.5 is Maine's #1 for new country. The biggest country stars with their biggest songs. And more fun with Scott Miller and Cindy Campbell on the Q106.5 Morning Show. Download the Q106.5 app and listen at work. Q106.5.
Fox Tuesdays. Get a taste of this summer's sweetest hit.
Welcome to Crime Scene Kitchen.
America's best bakers must answer one question. What was just baked in this kitchen?
Touch, smell, and lick every single surface in there.
What is it? What is it?
It's a race to gather the clues.
Raspberries.
Dark chocolate.
And bake the mystery dessert.
We're gonna win.
But did you make the right dessert?
Woo! Crime Scene Kitchen. Tuesdays on Fox and watch anytime on these platforms.
Retired military members marched to the steps of City Hall in Ellsworth during their Memorial Day parade. A.J. Douglas joined Ellsworth residents during a time of remembrance.
You know, as combat vets, we know the price of freedom. We have to remember they're the ones that gave us our freedom.
Hundreds showed up to take part in the Ellsworth Memorial Day parade to honor veterans who had fallen. District 4 Commander of Maine Veterans of Foreign Wars, Daniel Sullivan, says war has always been a part of our country. Sullivan says he will forever admire the bravery of our United States troops.
It's continual, but one thing that always is, our fellow citizens stood up to it and they answered the call to duty.
Some parents are attempting to teach their children about the true meaning behind Memorial Day through participation in Monday's events, while other parents with smaller children came out to enjoy the festivities.
My daughter did ask on the way here what exactly Memorial Day was, so I explained to her that we're, honoring everyone that has been in a war or has, come back from the war or hasn't made it back from the war.
Teach the kids appreciation for those who've served for our country.
Oh, my daughter just wanted to come to see the parade.
After the parade, there was a special ceremony held embracing a powerful message. Never forget.
All of our veterans are very important to us.
Well, there was certainly a common purpose, and that's unifying, and it is an opportunity, a rare opportunity that comes once a year.
One of the few retired colonels in attendance says days like this give people the chance to make peace with war.
It's a way to settle your own feelings about war and the people who make the ultimate sacrifice.
In Ellsworth, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
And from down east to the Bangor area, hundreds of people came out for Bangor's annual Memorial Day parade. Stephanie Wittenbach has the story.
The Bangor Memorial Day Parade is back after a long hiatus due to COVID-19. Folks brought their red, white, and blue and stood as military personnel, airmen, and junior reserve officers marched along Main Street in downtown Bangor. One Herman resident brought her family out to the parade for the very first time.
They know that it's to remember everyone that gave their all, either sacrificing themselves or being able to come home and let us live the life that we have.
One parade goer had never been to Bangor's parade and had a few words to share this Memorial Day.
I've served for 32 years, so it's a privilege to come out and remember, support all of the first responders and really celebrate the lives of the military, the people that have given their final and all for the country.
Page said right now this country needs to come together.
We've got to remember that we've got to unite around common common interests and common good, and just support things like this is a wonderful blessing to be able to be part of.
Kids waved their flags and Jeeps drove through the street as folks clapped. Veterans from the Korean War and Vietnam War marched. As Page said, military honor showed throughout the city. Bangor's Naval Submarine Base came out, which Page said isn't often seen. At the end of the parade, Bangor High School's junior reserve officers made a 21 rifle salute at Talbot Park. In Bangor, Stephanie Wittenbach reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
We're 15 minutes past the top of the hour. Coming up after the break this morning, families are preparing funeral services for the 21 victims of last week's deadly mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. Plus, as Title 42 makes its way through the courts, we're taking a look at the border towns trying new ways to manage the influx of migrants. Your National Spotlight coming up in just a minute.
The signs of spring are here. The sun's out for the evening commute. Whistles and clapping echo from the ball field, and the flowers bloom with warmer days on the horizon. Valley Home Services offers whole home comfort with the changing of the seasons. With a push of a button on a Fujitsu heat pump, you're ready for whatever spring brings. Humid days or cool nights, come home to comfort with Valley Home Services. Home is our middle name.
Welcome to Rebecca's. For over 30 years, we've been serving our local customers in downtown Bangor, and we invite you to explore our historic shop.
Rebecca's carries many Maine-made products from local artisans. Perhaps you need a gift basket for your next celebration. We'll be glad to help. From blueberry ceramic dishes, gourmet foods featuring Stonewall Kitchen, fine wines to antique dishes and furniture. You're sure to find that perfect gift.
We hope to see you soon at Rebecca's.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed.
No.
We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
Anyone looking at me and talking to me would never know that I had it.
It's a condition that can affect anyone at any age or stage of life.
Yeah, you feel out of control. It's time is the only thing that really makes the difference.
We'll dig deeper into the battle with Bell's palsy tonight on Fox 22 News at 10.
The baddest superstars on the planet are unleashed in prime time. All new Friday Night SmackDown at 8 Eastern on Fox.
And on to your national news. In Texas this morning, families are preparing funeral services for the 21 victims of last week's deadly mass shooting at Robb Elementary School. Those final goodbyes come as we're learning more about their loved ones' final moments. And a bipartisan group of lawmakers on Capitol Hill continued talks on new gun safety measures. ABC's Justin Finch reports from Washington.
The first of 21 final farewells now beginning in Uvalde.
It's heartbreaking, and I can't begin to imagine what these families are going through.
7 days ago, panic at Robb Elementary. ABC News obtaining video of frantic moments outside the school.
Guy with a rifle.
Police breaking a window to pull children to safety.
Somebody jump out the window.
Oh, the kids. They're getting the kids out.
A camera capturing what sounds like a dispatcher telling officers a student is calling from a classroom.
Is there anybody inside of the building? Tom is advising he is in the room full of victims at this moment.
Texas officials say Uvalde Schools Police Chief Pete Arredondo wrongly believed they were dealing with a barricaded subject, not an active shooter. Arredondo ordering tactical teams to not enter the classroom where children were calling 911 for help. Sources tell ABC News federal agents finally used the custodian's key to get inside and kill the gunman. Uvalde's mayor announcing Arredondo's scheduled city council swearing-in ceremony is canceled for now as the city grieves. The police response to Robb Elementary under state and federal investigation. In Uvalde, children joining calls for change.
If we want to heal, we need some new rules, because if we don't change nothing, it's going to be the same and it's going to happen again and again.
In Washington, President Biden's pushing a bipartisan group of House and Senate members to continue work on gun reform.
I think there's a recognition on their part that we can't continue like this. I know that it makes no sense to be able to purchase something that can fire up to 300 rounds.
That bipartisan group will hold a Zoom call today to review possible reforms, including red flag warnings and expanding background checks, with hopes of reaching a deal on a framework by next week.
And President Biden is continuing to push for new gun control measures, but denying that he has the authority to take unilateral action. This is not sitting well with some of his usual supporters. Fox's Jackie Heinrich has the latest from the White House.
President Biden remembering Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice in what he called a sacred Memorial Day ritual.
We must never betray the lives laid down to make our nation a beacon to the world, a citadel of liberty and justice for everyone.
Biden marked the importance of defending democracy amid Russia's war in Ukraine. Also mourned alongside Gold Star families on the anniversary of his son Beau's death, a veteran who died of brain cancer. Biden addressed the families of the 2,461 service members who lost their lives in Afghanistan, but made no specific mention of the 13 who died under his watch during the withdrawal, the only armed forces to die by enemy attack since he took office. The solemn ceremonies coming just one day after Biden privately grieved with a shattered community in Uvalde, Texas, telling reporters upon his return there's some hope for a bipartisan gun control agreement in Congress, encouraged by a push from Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell to Texas Senator John Cornyn to find common ground with Democrats.
God is so bad that everybody's getting more rational about it. But I think there's a realization on the part of rational Republicans, and I consider McConnell a rational Republican, and Cornyn is as well. You can't do this.
The administration increasingly defensive over pressure for Biden to act unilaterally, refusing some network requests for officials to appear on Sunday shows, saying it's on Congress to act. Biden said today his executive powers have limits.
But I can't outlaw a weapon. I can't change the background check. I can't do that.
Some congressional Democrats have hope for a budding agreement.
There are more Republicans interested in talking about finding a path forward this time than I have ever seen since Sandy Hook.
Not all share the optimism.
As far as a federal level, I'm not that hopeful.
Senator John Cornyn, the lead GOP negotiator on the gun safety reform effort, told reporters today in Texas a group of bipartisan senators is meeting tomorrow over Zoom to see if they can reach a framework on how to move forward. But he offered no details on what they'd be discussing, like red flag laws or otherwise. At the White House, Jackie Heinrich, Fox News.
Time is now 8:22. It's about 52 degrees outside the studio. The humidity is upwards of 92%. Rain and a lot of wind, but it should move out of here later on in the day. Let's get a full look at that forecast with meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin, good morning and happy Tuesday, buddy.
Hey, Joe, thank you very much. A small craft advisory remains in effect until 11 a.m. this morning along the coast, courtesy of the gusty winds from a cold front that continues to move through. We'll start seeing things improving there soon. A frost advisory up across the northern parts of the state. That kicks in later on tonight, lasting through 6 a.m. on Wednesday. As for the rainfall, we've seen some rainfall moving through recently, moving from the northwest going toward the south and east. Things will be improving, though, throughout the rest of the morning period as this all will be moving away. And this will equal some sunshine now will be coming out during the afternoon as this cold front moves in. And this will take the rain and the clouds away from the area as well. Here is the cold front right here that continues to move through high pressure farther down toward the south. There's a warm front right about in here. So we'll dry out for a brief time, but some more chances for rain will soon be on the way. As for wave heights, not too bad. They're actually backing off now at around 2 to maybe 4 feet in a few areas, though. That's why those small craft advisories are projected to drop later on today. The winds, all right, not too bad overall. Maybe some winds getting up to about 20 miles per hour in a few spots. We'll start seeing us back off a little bit more as we head towards Wednesday morning. And again, water temperatures will also begin to drop in a few areas as well. They're in the 50s at this point, but they'll start rising soon with temperatures that are currently in the 60s. Already your UV index forecast, we haven't dug this out in a while, right? Now at a 7-day burn time of around 30 minutes, so all the areas that you see here indicated, as you'll still need that sunscreen with a burn time that could happen rather quickly. So with that in mind, our average high is now 70 degrees. We'll be in the middle to upper 60s for the next several days. Even some lower 70s that'll be on the way soon. So your forecast for today, some morning rain showers, otherwise decreasing clouds, highs in the upper 60s. That north wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. 40 degrees tonight, partly cloudy, areas of frost, north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Next 5 days, more chances of rain as we head towards Friday.
Angie's List is now Angie, and it's easier than ever to get your project done right. With Angie, you can connect with top pros and see ratings and reviews. And when you book and pay through Angie, you're covered by our happiness guarantee. Check out Angie.com today. Angie, and done.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine with equipment and tool rentals for more than 30 years. Our extensive inventory contains everything you need to get the job done right. Our professional, knowledgeable staff is here to make sure that you get the highest quality rental items to complete your project and that they have been serviced and maintained to the highest standards. Power brooms to get that sand off the lawn, leaf blowers, brush chippers, stump grinders, aerial lifts, tillers, and excavators. We rent most everything. If you don't see it in our online catalog, please ask for it. If we don't have the item you need, we would be happy to help you find it.
The Penobscot Poorhouse, Bangor's favorite neighborhood pub, is your destination to catch all your favorite sports and pub food. Don't miss a second of the action on our 24 TVs and big screen. Bangor's home for the NBA, NASCAR, college basketball, March Madness, hockey, and much more. We have the perfect pub food too. Wings, burgers, fries, salads, weekly specials, and much more. We have what you crave. Stop in for lunch, drinks, and stay for dinner in our newly remodeled venue. The Penobscot Poorhouse, Bangor's #1 sports pub, located at 14 Larkin Street off Main Street in Bangor.
Oh, what a good time we will have. You can make it happen, girl.
Voltaren, the joy of movement.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Bar Harbor, is sponsored by the Acadia Shops, offering quality products to help you enjoy your trip to Bar Harbor and Acadia National Park. You'll find the best Maine-crafted products here. Graffiti Donuts, a donut-centric dessert location, offering fresh-made donuts, donut hole nachos, donut sundaes, milkshakes, and much more. Open 7 days a week. And the Loft Raw Bar and Seafood Lounge offers a contemporary craft seafood experience, including a hyper-local daily oyster selection. Open daily, open late.
President Biden hopes to tackle issues surrounding rising inflation today as he meets with the Federal Reserve Chair. President Biden and Fed Chair Jerome Powell meet for the first time since Powell was confirmed for a second term in charge of the U.S. Central Bank. The White House says the two will talk about inflation, which Biden has tapped as his top economic priority. Inflation hit a 40-year high earlier this year. As Title 42 makes its way through the courts, we're taking a look at the border towns trying new ways to manage the influx of migrants. The Title 42 allows the U.S. to turn away undocumented migrants seeking asylum, and once it ends, the Department of Homeland Security predicts up to 18,000 migrants could cross the border daily. Caroline Elliott is live in McAllen with an update on how the border towns are preparing now.
Title 42 could be delayed in court for months, which gives Border Patrol and these border towns along the southwest border more time to prepare. But we're finding even the recent efforts to stop migrants from crossing aren't slowing them down. Along the Rio Grande River, Border Patrol and barbed wire isn't enough to stop smugglers and migrants from crossing into the United States.
That's an illegal swimming across. They have sentinels all up and down the river. Cartel has with phones. They know exactly what's going on this river 24/7. And this is not the neighborhood we want where we live or where we work.
Othel Brand runs the 3rd Water District along the river. One area deputies say is known for cartel activity.
Outside of the city limits, outside on the river where these guys work, it's a totally different environment. Totally different environment. And we have people shot, we have bodies pulled out, some with heads, some with no heads.
The Texas National Guard installed barbed wire last month, but migrants are still finding their way across the river. In fact, last month, Border Patrol saw the highest number of border crossings ever recorded. Now locals are asking the federal government for help.
We don't want this to be the norm, and it is right now. And the only one that's making this a norm is our federal government.
While the order remains in court for now, border towns know the end of Title 42 is inevitable.
This border issue is a big concern for Americans. It's a concern for us who live here on the border, and we want it solved.
Now, Judge Cortez says the county is pleased with this decision, but as Title 42 makes its way through the court system, he says he hopes the federal government can find a way for these migrants to apply for citizenship much faster. In McAllen, Texas, Caroline Elliott, Fox News.
And still to come here in the second half of our show, the Biker Church USA hosted a special Memorial Day Remembrance barbecue at the Bangor waterfront. Plus, we shine a spotlight on a hard-working Bangor man who has dedicated 60 years of his life to his passion. These stories and more local news as Good Morning Maine continues.
The best value for your money is always at the Furniture Gallery. And now, take advantage of even extra savings during the Furniture Gallery's Memorial Day sale with truckloads of new inventory. Bring home the perfect living room set, dining set, recliner, and mattress. If it's in stock, it's yours to take home today. Open your camper cottage this year with a new mattress and receive a free bundle on all closeout mattresses. Don't forget to check out our selection of outdoor furniture too. The Furniture Gallery in Augusta, Bangor, Gorham, and North Windham.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Bar Harbor, is sponsored by Carol Harper and Associates Incorporated, your one source for your Medicare and long-term care insurance planning. Disconnected Tattoo and Art Company, a family-friendly tattoo and art shop in Ellsworth with well-rounded artists and a fun atmosphere. And Graffiti Donuts, a donut-centric dessert location offering fresh-made donuts, donut hole nachos, donut sundaes, milkshakes, and much more. Open 7 days a week.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business.
Welcome back. It's Tuesday, May 31st of 2022, the last day of May. Where does the time go? Devin Biggs has your forecast in just a moment. It was on this very day in 1634. The colony of Massachusetts annexed an area just north that was referred to as Maine. Actor Clint Eastwood is 92 years old today, still making some great movies. Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath is 79, and actor Colin Farrell is 46. Today for national holidays is Speak in Complete Sentences Day, which is actually something very difficult to do if you focus on it. Kind of similar when COVID hit, nobody really understood how much you actually touch your face with your hands or other objects. Then you start figuring it out. Well, talking in complete sentences takes some time. Nobody's 100% perfect. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs. He has another check of our forecast.
Hey, Joe, thank you very much. A couple advisories we have our eye on. A small cloud advisory is in effect until 11 a.m. this morning. The winds will begin to calm down after that, so these advisories are expected to get dropped by that point. But later on tonight and a Wednesday morning, a frost advisory up for a few areas due to cooler temperatures that could fall in the 30s across the northern parts of the state, so we do have our eye on that. And we do have a few rain showers that continue to move through this morning, mainly across most of the viewing area, though, although the coverage has backed off over the last several hours, moving from the northwest going toward the south and east. We had a lot of yellow moving through recently. Now just a little bit of green still left. We'll start seeing this taper off throughout the rest of the daytime period with this cold front right about in here that continues to track from the north to the south. This is a warm front right about in here. We'll stay in the cool side of things with temperatures over the next few days. That'll be in the 60s. It was a warm one yesterday. Temperatures making it into the lower 80s. Not too bad with 70s further off toward the north. And so far this morning's lows have been in the 40s and even 50s. So overall a mild start across the region so far. Temperatures not warming up much today, making it into the 60s. Futurecast for the rest of today, though, that cold front will be moving through with a lot of sunshine that will be coming out during the afternoon period once we get this rain to taper off. And with that in mind, your hourly forecast moving forward, the rain will give way to sunshine, temperatures in the 60s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe?
Thanks, Devin. The Coal Land Transportation Museum in Bangor honored fallen U.S. military veterans on Memorial Day by hosting a wreath-laying ceremony. Sierra Jordan was there and has the details.
Please join me in a moment of silence for our fallen brothers and sisters. Hundreds of fallen U.S. military veterans were honored at the Coal Land Transportation Museum's Memorial Day service for the first time in 2 years.
This is a great honor because our flag, our freedoms, all exist because of what others have given them the most. You know, they gave their lives, they gave their service.
Families and veterans gathered at the museum for the wreath-laying ceremony shortly after the Bangor Memorial Day Parade. 4 wreaths were laid in remembrance for our veterans who made the ultimate sacrifice.
One for Vietnam, one for Korea. We have one for World War II and one for Purple Heart. And there are little brackets that we have at each memorial. We have certain veterans for each group that are going to lay the wreaths on those brackets.
Since 1997, the Coal Land Transportation Museum has distributed over 11,000 Maine maple walking sticks to war veterans. The museum's founder, Galen Cole, created the walking stick to honor Maine veterans. As of this weekend, Munson says a half a dozen walking sticks were given out.
Cole, our founder, was a World War II vet and a Purple Heart recipient, and memorializing those who had fallen, him losing his best friend, Charlie Flanagan, who is it resembles the gentleman in the Jeep behind me. Memorial Day was a special event for him.
A retired Navy veteran who served from 1960 to 1966 attended the ceremony to honor his late brother.
He was in the Sicily when he died. He went through 3 major battles.
The ceremony later ended with a performance by the Bangor High School Band.
Especially since we're running out of World War II vets and quickly running out of Korean War vets. It's nice to meet them in person and shake their hand and tell them that thank you for their service.
In Bangor, I'm Sierra Jordan reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Churchgoers and those in recovery remembered the men and women who lost their life in battle. Pastor Bill Ray of Biker Church USA said this get-together was 6 months in the making. Last year, he said they weren't able to have it and said there's a special place in his heart for those in recovery, and Monday's event served as a way for all to show their thanks.
It's a holiday. It's easy to bring people, and we're celebrating our forefathers that gave us the ability to do what we're doing now.
Now, volunteers cooked up some burgers and hot dogs. As you can see there, those in recovery were able to enjoy the music and remember the fallen. His name is Jerome Hogan, and he's a hardworking man. For 60 years, he's worked for Greyhound, and although this Bangor man hasn't received a paycheck in over a decade, it hasn't stopped him from volunteering with his former employer. Jody Hersey has the details.
I learned a lot from this bus line.
Jerome Hogan's love for buses started when he was just 17 years old. That's when this Holton native moved from Aroostook County to the big city of Bangor to work for Greyhound.
All I did is load the buses with bags, and I cleaned them out for the drivers. And I was going to go driving, but then I decided, no, I'm going to stick right where I am.
Hogan spent 50 years working for the company when it was operating out of the Bangor bus terminal. He spent another 8 years volunteering with the outfit when it was relocated to Dysarts. And for the past 2 years, he's been voluntarily loading bags here at the Park and Ride on the Audlin Road.
It gets me out of the house and come over here and get this bus out. I mean, you know, it's been tremendous for me.
Driver Eddie Lee says Hogan is one of a kind.
Jerome, he kept everything running smooth, you know. He's been here a long time, but he's just overall good guy and just take care of everybody.
Greyhound plans to recognize Hogan for his 60 years of contributions to the company in June. That's when he'll board the bus instead of loading the bus and make his way to Boston for a small celebration. In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Don't go anywhere. Still coming up here this morning, Tyler Cruz and Dave Peck will join us for sports. But first, we'll take a quick look at that overnight forecast. Temperatures warming up to a high of 67 today. A little bit of rain in our area this morning for the commute, but should move out of here anywhere between 10 and noon. There'll be a little bit of cloud coverage, some sunshine moving in today. Tonight, those clouds stick around. Temperatures dropping down to a low of 40 degrees and a slight chance of rain for tomorrow. Temperatures warming up to a high of 69 with a little bit of sunshine.
With the first pick in the 2022 real estate draft, the Maine home buyers and sellers select Luke. Get looped and get sold today with Next Home Experience.
As our parents get older, they can stay more active with the right care.
Oh, did you have 4 of those?
Yeah. Find care for your mom and dad at care.com.
Dude, can you believe we're graduating? And they helped us find a great job. Soon we'll be living the dream.
Exactly. I'm incredibly grateful for Maine Job Corps. If it wasn't for them, I'd be working an entry-level job and barely making it.
Let Team Maine Job Corps help find the career that's right for you. Call 561-8516.
Attention Maine fishermen, we want to see your biggest catch and for you to win some great prizes. Go to foxbangor.com and click on contest and giveaway. Then upload your photo for your chance to win. Sponsored by Willie's Sports Center, Mill Mall, and Ellsworth. We have everything for fishing from trout to tuna, fly fishing, trolling, and ocean rigging. We carry fat tire e-bikes to get to remote spots and snow dog utility machines. We have all your hunting and outdoor essentials.
Cookers, the best comeback dish ever.
I have unfinished business in the MasterChef kitchen.
It's my time to win it.
The dish is good, but it's not your average season.
An all-new MasterChef Back to Win, Wednesday on Fox.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, some said they were too young. Others said it was just time to break up the band. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they can't play together. But after all the talk, the Boston Celtics are back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2010. In the biggest of moments, the Celtics captured the Eastern Conference crown, downing the Heat in Game 7 in Miami. Now, this team has battled adversity all playoffs long and really all season long, too. But it's the way they've handled those challenges that has been the difference.
Instead of carrying it like baggage, we wore it like, a badge of experience, to help us get prepared for the next game. And, we war tested. Like, we've been through a lot. We've learned a lot over the years. And now the stage is at its brightest. We got to apply everything that we learned into these moments.
Now, after the game, Jason Tatum answered a number of questions about how the team was able to turn things around, how they were able to bounce back from a below 500 team, at one point losing to the Knicks in what he described the rock bottom of the season back in early January. But now they finally have gotten over the hump.
It was tough. Truly, there were definitely some tough moments throughout the season. You start to question yourself, are you good enough to be that guy? But I think you just trusting yourself, trusting the work that you put in to get to this point and continue to work. It can't rain forever.
No, it cannot, and he showed that trust more than anyone, really, because he was named the first ever Larry Bird winner for the MVP of the Eastern Conference Finals, leading the team to the finals once again. So Game 1 from San Francisco is scheduled for 9 p.m. on Thursday on ABC 7. Meanwhile, on the local level, high school tennis teams are opening up their own playoffs this week, the state tournament upcoming, and the John Babs boys are in prime position for their own championship run. Now, we checked in with the Crusaders during the preseason, and even back then, they knew they had something special. Fast forward to now, the Babs boys just completed the perfect regular season, 12-0, and the top spot in Class B North.
I had high expectations. I think the team, veterans knew the kind of team that we could be, but I tempered that a lot with the kids and made sure that they stayed grounded.
The kids are awesome. All my teammates, they're really amazing. I think that has to be the best part. And the coaches, Coach Heppel, Coach Hoyt, they're pretty awesome.
Now, you ask Hoyt, and he'll say one of the biggest reasons for their success has been the depth, a lot of talent deep in that roster. That's allowed him and his staff to focus more on the nuances of the game, playing a little chess instead of checkers, as we often like to say with Bill Belichick and the Patriots. But for Hoyt, you could also say that's where he hopes the parallel will end.
We're going into the playoffs and we have to reset. I mean, that's the undefeated season is great, and it's a feather in your cap, if you will, but it's not what we're here to do. We're here to make an attempt to play the next match and win if we can, and then hopefully with a little luck we get to make it to the finals and maybe have a chance at undefeated MDI. I hear they're excellent.
Well, he's not wrong there. MDI is also 12-0 on the season, potentially setting the stage for a heavyweight regional final down the road. We'll see what happens there. We're also getting down to it for baseball as well, as the playoffs are a couple weeks away now. So let's go to Herman for a Class B matchup here. Hawks hosting the Coyotes of Old Town in this one. First inning is where we will start. Matt Phillips on the bump and gets the K to end the inning. Bottom one now, Phillips helping himself out here at the plate. Slow grounder trickles up the middle into center. 2-run score to make it a 2-0 Hawks lead. But then came the Coyotes. First, Preston Vose with a liner into right center. That's a 2 RBI double that ties things up at 2 apiece. And then after a Gabe Gifford double, Noah Thibodeau does a job here. Sacrifice fly puts the Coyotes in front 3-2. And then in the third, Connor McCannell at the plate would add another on a solo shot as Old Town comes back to win it 4-3. Was the final. And we'll take a look at some of the other scores in the area just up the hill. How about Herman softball coming back from 8 runs down to beat the Coyotes on home turf? So they split that sort of softball-baseball doubleheader. Elsewhere in the softball world, Bangor Christian Downs shed 14-4 to pick up their first win in 4 years. That according to Eastern Maine Sports. And back on the baseball diamond, Lee just gets the better of Stearns, and Central is able to blank Dexter 11-0. Alrighty, that's sports. We'll be right back.
Q106.5 is Maine's #1 for new country. The biggest country stars with their biggest songs. And more fun with Scott Miller and Cindy Campbell on the Q106.5 Morning Show. Download the Q106.5 app and listen at work. Q106.5.
Fast Freddy does everything fast, including playing Maine Lottery's new Fast Play game, Cash Blast Progressive. Jackpots keep growing until someone wins. He can choose a $2, $5, or $10 ticket. Freddy could win up to 100% of the jackpot. Play Cash Blast Progressive today.
Hey, you're Fast Freddy. You probably want to play Maine Lottery's newest Fast Play games. There's Word Search, where you could win up to $15,000. And 3 to Win has a progressive jackpot.
I'll take them. Love your express checkout line. Goodbye.
On the next Last Man Standing.
Oh, I like the salute. I want all my daughters to start doing that.
Eve Baxter returns.
Tomorrow, all my girls are going to be doing the Sunday morning breakfast club again.
Just like when I was a kid.
Except that I'm pregnant.
Just like when I was a kid.
And it's just like old times.
Yeah, the olden days. Terrible. Country was divided. Nobody trusted the president. Good thing we fixed that.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
Q106.5 is Maine's #1 for new country. The biggest country stars with their biggest songs. And more fun with Scott Miller and Cindy Campbell on the Q106.5 Morning Show. Download the Q106.5 app and listen at work. Q106.5.
With Tuesday's business news, here's Leo Jonathan.
Oil is up to over $115 a barrel. Crude oil prices this year already up over 60%. Gas prices in all 50 states have passed $4 a gallon, most closer to $5. Lumber futures are off by more than 50% compared to their high in early March. Prices are sliding by worries about a slowdown in home building with interest rates on the rise. French food giant Danone is sending the equivalent of 5 million bottles worth of formula to the U.S. for babies with allergies. The shipments will be here at the end of June. And labor shortages will mean more closed signs around the country again this summer. The Wall Street Journal says job openings are still double the number of unemployed people looking for jobs. Pools and restaurants continue struggling to find enough workers. I'm Leo Jonathan with Tuesday's Business on ABC 7.
Having dogs around your kids when they're young not only helps their gut feelings about animals, it actually helps your kids' real gut as well. Some researchers from a university in Toronto say exposure to dogs when kids are between 5 and 15 is beneficial for their gut health. The team studied the data of almost 4,300 families with Crohn's disease. They found having the canines near gave them a better microbial balance in the gut region and helps lowers their chances of the Crohn's disease, now which affects nearly 500,000 people in the United States alone. Guide dogs in training face one of their biggest challenges yet, the airport. Fox's Tony Almanza meets up with some of the puppy raisers and guide dog puppies at an airport in California to learn more.
Golden Retrievers and Labrador puppies were trained to serve as guide dogs in the San Luis Obispo airport.
So Guide Dogs for the Blind is all, puppy raisers are all about taking the dogs new places, getting them exposed to different sights and sounds. A lot of time the first outing a dog goes on with its new handler once it's graduated is to the airport to fly home. And so some puppies have never been to the airport before, and there's a lot of new sights and sounds fitting on the plane in that small area. So we want to get them comfortable with all of this so that when they do graduate and go on to fly on a plane with their handler, they have been to it before, they're not nervous, they know what's up, and they can do their job effectively.
Puppy raisers put a lot of work in training their puppy.
So we get them around 8 weeks, so 2 months old. They stay with puppy raisers, which is what I am and the other people here are. We raise and socialize and house break them and whatnot, and we do that until they're about 15 to 18 months of age. At that point, they'll get recalled to the campus for Guide Dogs for the Blind.
Once the puppy is fully trained, they can be a big help to airlines.
It's an amazing aspect where a dog can basically help somebody, you know, that wouldn't normally be able to travel. I mean, we are more than, we'll come out and help the guests as we can. Guide dogs, they don't need that extra person to help them out, you know. They're basically helping us out a ton by getting the passengers to where they need to go.
And with one final look at our forecast, let's bring in meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin, good morning.
Hey, Joe, thank you very much. A small craft advisory remains in effect until 11 a.m. this morning along the coast, courtesy of the gusty winds from a cold front that continues to move through. We'll start seeing things improving there soon. A frost advisory up across the northern parts of the state. That kicks in later on tonight, lasting through 6 a.m. on Wednesday. As for the rainfall, we've seen some rainfall moving through recently, moving from the northwest going toward the south and east. Things will be improving, though, throughout the rest of the morning period as this all will be moving away. And this will equal some sunshine now will be coming out during the afternoon as this cold front moves in. And this will take the rain and the clouds away from the area as well. Here is the cold front right here that continues to move through high pressure further down toward the south. There's a warm front right about in here. So we'll dry out for a brief time, but some more chances for rain will soon be on the way. As for wave heights, not too bad. They're actually backing off now to around 2 to maybe 4 feet in a few areas, though. That's why those small craft advisories are projected to drop later on today. The winds, all right, not too bad overall. Maybe some winds getting up to about 20 miles per hour in a few spots. We'll start seeing us back off a little bit more as we head towards Wednesday morning. And again, water temperatures will also begin to drop in a few areas as well. They're in the 50s at this point, but they'll start rising soon with temperatures that are currently in the 60s. Already your UV index forecast, we haven't dug this out in a while, right? Now at a 7-day burn time of around 30 minutes to all the areas that you see here indicated, as you'll still need that sunscreen with a burn time that could happen rather quickly. So with that in mind, though, our average high is now 70 degrees. We'll be in the middle to upper 60s for the next several days. Even some lower 70s that'll be on the way soon. So your forecast for today, some morning rain showers, otherwise decreasing clouds, highs in the upper 60s. That north wind at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. 40 degrees tonight, partly cloudy areas of frost, north wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Next 5 days, more chances of rain as we head towards Friday.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This has been a test of the emergency alert system. Equipment that can quickly warn you has been tested. If this had been an actual emergency, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This station serves the East Central Maine area. This concludes this test.
Are you constantly getting up at night because you have to go? Is your bladder controlling your life? Now, gain control of your life with Better Bladder, a natural herbal alternative to prescription medicine.
I used to have to go to the bathroom every 20 minutes. With a degree of urgency, I no longer feel. I now can go 3, 4, and I have gone 5 hours without stopping to use the restroom.
Having had the experience as a doctor using Better Bladder with patients, I can really recommend it with confidence.
A full 2-month supply of Better Bladder is only $39.95 per month, but it won't cost you that today because you can experience Better Bladder free for 30 days. You also get a free 30-day supply of TheraBotanics Perfect Omega. Just one Perfect Omega has the power of 3 ordinary fish oil supplements. Plus, get a free copy of Doctor's Secrets to a Better Bladder. A $60 total value, free. Call the number on your screen now and take back control with Better Bladder.
I'm thinking yes. 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 I'll have what she's having. And you can too. Get ready for the good dish. Delicious twists on your favorite comfort foods. Decadent desserts you can whip up in no time. And game-changing shortcuts. What's for dinner is about to get way easier. And way more fun than doing the dishes. So get ready to get dishing.
Weekdays at 1 on Fox 22.
You've probably heard the saying that everything old is new again. Well, that seems to be the trend we're seeing on menus across the country. Comfort dishes like mac and cheese, old-fashioned meatloaf, and southern shrimp and grits are finding their way onto menus at some of the most popular restaurants coast to coast. So let me show you how easy it is to whip up some shrimp and grits that are so good your taste buds will be doing a happy dance. We start by cooking some bacon until it's nice and crispy. While that finishes up, we add some grits to a pot of boiling water along with a good amount of salt. We discovered the trick to making really good grits is to be generous with the salt. Now we take our bacon out of the skillet, and in the bacon drippings, we cook some shrimp along with a bit of minced garlic until the shrimp are pink. Now that our grits have thickened up, we stir in a good amount of cheddar cheese. And to give our shrimp lots of flavor, we add a little lemon juice, a splash of hot sauce, and some scallions. And when we serve the shrimp over the cheesy grits and finish it off with some crumbled bacon, are you ever in for a treat? To get this easy recipe for our southern shrimp and grits, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a new old-fashioned way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And for the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Alex Stone.
A surprise performance from Johnny Depp at a Jeff Beck concert in England. The actor is also a guitarist and is a member of the band Hollywood Vampires. Depp's appearance on stage comes as a high-stakes trial between he and ex-wife Amber Heard is now in the hands of the jury. Deliberations resume today.
God save the Queen!
Sex Pistols' God Save the Queen, one of the most iconic songs in punk rock history, is to be reissued to mark Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee. The song, with its anti-royal theme, was originally banned by BBC Radio and TV when it came out in 1977. Ironically, at the time of the Queen's Silver Jubilee, despite the ban, it reached number 2 on the UK's singles chart. And Netflix has released photos of Bradley Cooper, who is almost unrecognizable, playing famed composer Leonard Bernstein. It's Cooper's first time directing since 2018's A Star is Born. The Netflix film also stars Carey Mulligan as Bernstein's wife. It's expected to debut next year. Happy birthday to Clint Eastwood. The Oscar-winning actor and director turns 92 today. And celebrating is model and actress Brooke Shields. She is 57. That's what's happening in Hollywood.
And a speed-burning aerial action flick scores huge over Memorial Day.